Hundreds of residents in central Newfoundland and Labrador have been ordered to leave their homes. There's a wildfire threatening their community of Badger. NTV News Chief Meteorologist Sheerr has the latest from St. John this morning. Eddie, what can you tell us so far about this wildfire and what's fueling it?
Anne-Marie, thank you very much. The wildfire began a couple of days ago from lightning strike. And there were actually a few fires ignited in central Newfoundland from lightning strikes. I think it was today is what, Thursday? That was Tuesday afternoon. And so whenever we have fires like that, followed by a warm, windy, and dry day, which we had yesterday, the chance is always there for a fire to grow in size and become very hard to manage. And that's exactly what happened around Badger yesterday. The fire yesterday morning, before it even began to kind of creep towards the town, was only about 3 to 4 kilometers or so from the town of Badger. And that may sound very close, but the silver lining here is that the Exploits River is reasonably wide between Badger and where the fire is. So the fire is on the south side of the river, Badger is on the north side of the river, and so far that seems to be acting like a barrier, keeping the fire at bay because it did not jump the river yesterday, even though it grew to about 650 hectares in size.
And it's the jumping of the river and the concerns of it spreading that has led to this evacuation. We know this isn't the first wildfire that's affected the community so far this season. So how common are wildfires in this region, and are they seeing an increase?
Wildfires are not, I don't want to say uncommon in Newfoundland and Labrador. We have them every year, really in parts of Labrador. Now, the last few years, we've had fairly dry summers here in Newfoundland in combination with an increase in thunderstorm activity and then dry lightning strikes. So when you have a dry lightning strike and you have a lack of rain, which we have, that's the perfect recipe for those fires to get started and then get spreading. These are the first couple fires we've seen so far this year from lightning strikes. There have been numerous other wildfires around the island this year, but those have generally been from, I don't want to say reckless behavior, but they were all started by non-natural phenomena.
Premier Hogan ordered this evacuation order on Wednesday. So let me ask you, what are conditions looking like in the days ahead?
Well, we had a little bit of rain in the area this morning. I was hoping for about 10 millimeters. The actual amount was 2.5 in Badger, so obviously hoping for more. Yesterday, the weather conditions were almost ideal. It was not very humid, it was warm, and it was breezy, kind of like we're seeing here in St. John's right now. Today shouldn't be as breezy. Will be warm, but it shouldn't be as dry as the humidity is up. So those are all kind of things that kind of go forward and against the spreading of the fire. So I don't think the fire is going to spread nearly as effectively today. That being said, unless it gets completely put out, the next few days look mild and dry and warm, and that will set the stage for the fire to potentially continue to burn, at least in some respect, on the south side of the river. So, you know, the cliche is we're not out of the woods yet, and really we're not, because it would only take a couple of embers to kind of cross the river to get that fire going. But water bombers are on it, the firefighters are doing what they can. So, you know, hats off to all the crews that are really battling this thing, because it takes a lot of skill on the ground and especially in the air to keep these fires at bay.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right to point that out. Really quickly, wind is a big part of this story, because when you're looking at embers potentially jumping, it's the winds that can drive that. What are winds looking like in the next couple of days?
Right now they're about 6 kilometers per hour, and I don't think we're supposed to have super windy conditions over the next few days. Now, granted, I haven't checked the forecast yet today, so I should probably get a look at that. But nothing stood out to me yesterday looking at the long-range minus. The temperatures are going to be back into the 20s, and it looks dry. So those are really not good things when it comes to trying to manage a fire. The silver lining is that as long as it's not too windy, the river is quite wide, and hopefully, you know, on that northern flank of the fire, as long as it keeps getting pushed that way, the river acts as a barrier, and the embers don't jump the river into the community. So that's kind of at least what I'm crossing my fingers for, but you know, just have to kind of wait and see, and these things can go from calm to very, very dangerous in a very short period of time, as we've seen time and time again across the country.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.